Law and order emerging as a top issue in the 2020 election, and we are seeing more sports teams like the NFL's Tennessee Titans protest the officer-involved shooting of Jacob Blake. Against that backdrop, Tennessee passing a new law that could strip some protesters of their voting rights. Let's discuss the developments with GOP Senator from Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn. Welcome back, Senator.
Thank you.
Okay, speaking of protests, I want to play something from Kate Bedingfield, who is the managing director of the Biden campaign. This is what she says about this conversation about law and order and who can fix what.
Well, I would say there's a pretty fundamental flaw with Donald Trump trying to make the argument that people are not going to be safe in Joe Biden's America while pointing to things that are happening in Donald Trump's America.
So, Senator, how do you answer that argument?
She's missing the point. These incidences are happening in blue cities. This is a blue city mayor's problem. And the fact that they will not keep law and order in their cities is unbelievable. And whether you're talking about Seattle or Portland or Richmond, Virginia, people are just astounded that you do not have these mayors stepping up, supporting local law enforcement. If they need additional support, asking the governor to call in the National Guard. People want to make certain that their communities are safe, that their families are going to be safe. And Shannon, I have to tell you, yes, indeed, when I talk to women, security moms are what I'm beginning to call them, because safety, security, law, and order is becoming a #1 issue in this election cycle.
Okay, against that backdrop, a couple of laws. We want to talk about what has just been passed in Tennessee, but first I want to touch on one in Virginia. It's gone through the Senate there, allowing judges to consider lesser charges in assaults of police officers. The bill's sponsor, Senator Scott Surrevell, Democrat from Fairfax, tried to diffuse the debate by explaining what the bill would not do. It does not defund the police. It does not grant anyone the right to assault first responders. Instead, he said, the bill would remove a mandatory minimum 6-month jail sentence for assaulting a police officer. What do you make of that, Senator?
What I make of that is that the Virginia Assembly is tone deaf to what is going on streets and the fears and concerns that citizens have. They want safe communities. And they're also tone deaf to the officers. In this environment, why would you choose to make a law enforcement officer's life more difficult? Why would you lessen a sentence? You have officers who are beginning to retire out. And their stated reason, they feel as if they just can't take it. They're concerned about their families. They're concerned what happens if they lose their life, if they become injured. And they're seeing footage every single day in cities across this country where you have anarchists and rioters and looters who have declared open season on cops. I saw footage today of someone throwing a hubcap at an officer's head. This is the type thing that concerns citizens, and they're wanting the anarchy and the revolutionaries that are now on the streets. They want them to be dealt with. This is not the way to solve problems.
Yeah, quickly, I want to ask you about in Tennessee, they signed a law there, the governor has signed and passed. It's a felony to participate in some types of protests. And some people could lose their voting rights as a result of that. Senator Jeff Merkley tweeting on it saying gathering to protest is a First Amendment right. And this law violates the most fundamental constitutional rights. And it's clearly voter suppression. So quickly, your take or explanation of the Tennessee law.
Well, I will leave this to the Tennessee General Assembly. My understanding is they took an existing law that prohibits camping on state property that is not a campground, and they made that a felony offense, and they did it because of damage to property and concerns for safety.
All right, well, we will watch and see how that plays out. Two very different legislative approaches in Virginia and Tennessee on this front. Senator, have a great weekend. Good to see you.
Too. Good to see you.